हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, अस्सलाम वालेकुम। वेलकम टू माय चैनल रिसर्च साइंस फोरम। डियर स्टूडेंट्स, आइए आज हम इस वीडियो के अंदर 100 प्लस एमसीक्यू डिस्कस करने जा रहे हैं जो कि एंटी टेस्ट बेस्ड है। तो एंटी टेस्ट का जो पंजाब मेडिकल कमीशन की तरफ से पहला चैप्टर दिया गया है वो बायोडाइवर्सिटी सेलुलर लाइफ यानी कि वैरायटी ऑफ लाइफ है, जिसमें उन्होंने वायरसेस के बारे में डिस्कस किया है। मुझे आप लोगों से उम्मीद है कि आप लोग ये पूरी वीडियो को अच्छे तरीके से देखेंगे, इसको इनके एमसीक्यूज को सॉल्व करेंगे। मेरी हर वीडियो के लास्ट पे जो तमाम एमसीक्यूज की आंसर की मौजूद है। आप लोगों ने करना क्या है कि आपने एमसीक्यूज को अच्छे तरीके से देखना है और साथ में आपने एमसीक्यूज की एक आंसर बुक ले लें, उस पर आपने आंसर फिल करते जाना है और एमसीक्यूज को लास्ट पे आपने आंसर की के साथ मैच करना है। मुझे स्टूडेंट से एक गिला शिकवा ये रहता है कि वो अपनी नॉलेज को दूसरों तक शेयर नहीं करते, और दूसरा, अगर उनको ये कहा जाए कि चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें तो वो ये भी नहीं करते। हालांकि इन दोनों से उनको फायदा होगा और नो डाउट कि मुझे भी इसका फायदा है। सब्सक्राइबर से मेरे सब्सक्राइबर बढ़ेंगे, मेरे व्यूज बढ़ेंगे। लेकिन हम आपके लिए इतनी मेहनत करते हैं तो आप ये मेरे लिए दो काम करें कि एक तो ये वीडियो को शेयर करें, तो उसका चैनल को सब्सक्राइब भी करें। थैंक यू वेरी मच। आइए देखते हैं आज का पहला क्वेश्चन। आपने क्वेश्चन को पढ़ना है, साथ साथ इसको आपने सॉल्व भी करना है। तो सॉल्व करके आपने उनके ऑप्शन को क्वेश्चन है वर्सेस में से, एट द टाइम ऑफ लुईस पास्चर एंड रॉबर्ट कोच द वर्ड वायरस वाज रेफर्ड एज फ्लूइड, माइक्रोस्कोपिक एजेंट, पॉइजन और एनिमल क्यूल्स। क्वेश्चन नंबर 2, viruses are made up by protein and DNA, protein and RNA, DNA and RNA, the data that is protein and nucleic acid. The word virus is derived from Greek word, Latin word, English word, Delta Italian word. Question number 4. Viruses were derived from venom, which means protein, poison, fluid, infectious protein. तो स्टूडेंट्स आप इसमें ना फोकस करते चले जाएं। एमसीक्यूज का जो सही आंसर आपको लगता है उसको आप बबल में फिल करते जाएं और लास्ट पे आपने आंसर की देखनी है और आपको पता चल जाएगा कि आपकी तैयारी कितनी है। तो ये 5 तरफ मूव करते हैं। ऑल आर अबाउट वायरसेस एक्सेप्ट cellular particles, infectious entities consist on DNA or RNA having protein code. First vaccinated disease was viral, bacterial, fungal or food poisoning. Edward Jenner vaccinated a boy first whose age was 5 years, 8 years, 10 years, 12 years. James Phipps was recovered from cowpox disease after 3 weeks, 3 months, 6 weeks, 6 months. 9 है, how many people were vaccinated by Edward Jenner? 15, 18, 23, 25. The term vaccination was first coined by Jenner, Pasteur, Robert Koch, Charles. First virus was discovered by Jenner, Pasteur, Vanuski, Charles Chamberlain. Rabies is a viral disease spread by biting of rabid animals except dogs and bats, foxes, rats and cats, horses. इनमें से कौन सा एनिमल है जिसके बाइट करने से रेबीज डिजीज नहीं फैलती? क्वेश्चन discovered that the agent which caused tobacco mosaic disease was filterable. Jenner, Pasteur, Vanuski, Charles Chamberlain. 40. Bacteriophage were discovered by Todd, D Harale, Jenner, Pasteur. The filterable agent were first purified in 1935 by Todd, D Harale, Stanley, Pasteur. The first purified virus were TMV, tobacco mosaic virus, bacteriophage, tadpole virus, poliovirus. 17. The range in size of viruses is 200 nanometer to 20 nanometer, beta 250 nanometer to 220 nanometer, Charlie to 15 micrometer to 20 micrometer, Delta 300 nanometer to 50 nanometer are smallest known viruses. Poxviruses, adenoviruses, herpesviruses, parvoviruses. 19 are the largest known viruses: poxviruses, adenoviruses, herpesviruses, parvoviruses. Question number: viruses are small. Viruses are times smaller than bacteria, 10 to 100 times, 10 to 500 times, 10 to 1000 times, 100 to 1000 times. Which is not character of viruses? They cannot grow on artificial media, pass through filters, replicate in culture media, obligate intracellular parasites. Viruses lack metabolic machinery for synthesis of food, plasma membrane, nucleic acid and protein, cytoplasm. 23. Viruses don't resist against antibiotics, antigens, alcohols, heat. 24. A structural component that is found in all viruses is envelope, DNA, capsid, tail fiber. Question: which of the following is not an RNA virus? Retrovirus, Poliovirus, Adenovirus, Paramyxovirus. 6. That is from structure of viruses. Mature non-enveloped virus is composed of genome only, prion only, genome and capsid, nucleic acid. The protein coat of virus is called envelope, capsid, capsomer, nucleocapsid. 28. Which of the following gives definite shape to viruses? Envelope, capsid, capsomer, nucleocapsid. 29. Capsids are made up by protein subunits called envelope, monomers, capsomers, nucleocapsid. 30. The number of capsomers in adenoviruses: 250, 252, 260, 262. 31. The number of capsomers in herpes virus: 142, 152, 162, 172. The nucleic acid and capsid, collectively called nucleoproteins, nucleohistones, nucleocapsid, the envelope. 23. The or the infectious proteins, virions, viroids, prions, mutant proteins. Number 34. The non-enveloped viruses are called simple viruses, complex viruses, naked viruses, prions. The part of virus which belongs to host cell: envelope, the capsid, the genome, tail. 6. Viral genome is composed of DNA only, RNA only, DNA or RNA, DNA, RNA, and protein. Question number 30. Prion is a or is an infectious part of virion, infectious protein only, a piece of RNA, a piece of DNA. 8. Vacca is a Latin word which means poison, from low cow, pus from cowpox lions. Question number 39. The first virus to be isolated in crystal form by Stanley. कौन सा वायरस है जो स्टैनली ने सबसे पहले आइसोलेट किया था क्रिस्टल की फॉर्म में? That is Bacteriophage, cowpox virus, tobacco mosaic virus, poliovirus. 40. The tail fibers are attached to which one of the following component of tail? Sheath, core, collar, and plate. 1. Bacteriophage occurs in two forms that are square and helical, cubical and square, cubical and helical, tadpole and helical. 2. Icosahedral shapes having faces 10, 20, 30, 40. 43. Helical phage are exist in the form of spherical, rod-shaped, round-shaped, elongated shape. 44. All are the characteristics of head of bacteriophage except elongated pyramidal, having two triangular structures, hexagonal, star-shaped. 5. In the head of bacteriophage, the genome is single-stranded DNA, double-stranded DNA, single-stranded RNA, double-stranded RNA. 46. Which of the following is more complex in bacteriophage? Sheath, tail, head, collar. Question number 47. Number of tail fibers are in bacteriophage? 4, 5, 6 or 8. Question number 40. The volume of bacteriophage is about of the host 1/10, 1/100, 1/1000, 1/500. Number 49. Outer viral protein also act as antibody, receptor, antigen, coat. Question number. DNA present in viruses having a single molecule, double molecule, several molecule clusters. 1. That is from classification and diseases. Properties are the most important for classifying the viruses. कौन सी properties हैं जो कि बहुत important है viruses को classify करने के लिए? Morphology and nucleic acid, physiology and nucleic acid, only nucleic acid, only morphology. Question number 52. All are viral groups except naked and enveloped, DNA and RNA viruses, simple viruses, complex viruses. Number 53. The shape of bacteriophage is round, oval, rod-shaped, tadpole. Question. The smallpox viruses are RNA enveloped, DNA enveloped, RNA non-enveloped, DNA non-enveloped. A viral disease that is known to have occurred epidemic in China. Smallpox, influenza, herpes simplex, polio. 56. In smallpox, raised fluid-filled vesicles are formed on body which become pustules later on and form pitted scars called lesions, wounds, pox, spots. In 1980, it was declared by World Health Organization that has been eradicated from the world. Smallpox, influenza, polio, mumps. 8. Herpes virus is RNA enveloped, DNA enveloped, RNA non-enveloped, DNA non-enveloped. 59. All are related with herpes simplex disease except naturally occurring disease, cause vascular lesions, most common on hands, common in the mouth. Question number. Influenza viruses are RNA enveloped, DNA enveloped, RNA non-enveloped, DNA non-enveloped. 61. Mumps and measles are large viruses. RNA enveloped, DNA enveloped, RNA non-enveloped, DNA non-enveloped. Question number 62. Measles is one of the commonest disease of the childhood, adults, more childhood and less adults, equally affect on child and adults. About percent people are immune to mumps, 50%, 60%, 70%, 80%. Question number 65. Poliomyelitis caused by polio, poliovirus, any virus, host specific virus. Question number: the age at which primary infection of polio occurs is 10 years, 8 years, 5 years और varies, यानी कि एज क्या वेरी करती है या इनमें से कोई ऊपर जो तीन ऑप्शन है उनमें से है कोई. नंबर 66 क्वेश्चन है स्मॉलेस्ट नॉन वायरसेस. मम्स वायरसेस, मिजल वायरसेस, herpes viruses. Poliovirus is rod-shaped, contain DNA, tadpole-like, contain RNA, spherical and DNA, spherical and RNA. Number 68. Disease caused by smallest known viruses: herpes simplex, polio, mumps, smallpox. 69. All of the following are characteristics of viruses except DNA and RNA present at the same time, have no membrane-bounded organelles, cannot reproduce outside the living cell, have no cellular membrane. Outside the living cells, the viruses exist in the form known as stars, crystals, solid particles, liquid particles. Question number 71. This substance not found in virus: DNA, RNA, protein, cellulose. 72. Reverse transcriptase is an enzyme contained by all viruses, retroviruses, bacteriophage, plant viruses. Question number 3. Viruses are considered as non-living because they produce variations, they form crystals, they code for protein synthesis, they can reproduce. Question number 7. Which of the following are found in all viruses? Envelope, capsid and nucleic acid, lipid, RNA and protein, protein and nucleic acid, protein, nucleic acid and lipids. Number 75. Which part of virus not produced inside host cell? Virus genome, capsid, envelope, proteins. Number 76, that is from retroviruses. Retroviruses are RNA enveloped, DNA enveloped, RNA non-enveloped, DNA non-enveloped. Question number 77. Tumor-causing viruses are known as polioviruses, retroviruses, herpes viruses, mumps viruses. इस ऑप्शन में बीटा की जगह पे आपको ऑनको वायरसेस भी पूछा जा सकता है, यानी कि इस जगह पे रेट्रोवायरस की जगह पे अगर ऑनको वायरसेस आ जाए तो फिर भी आपको उसके मुतालिक में इल्म होना चाहिए कि उसका सही आंसर क्या होना चाहिए. Retroviruses not cause tumor in fowl, snake, rodents, cats. 79. Diameter of retroviruses is up to 10 micrometer, 10 nanometer, 100 micrometer, 100 nanometer. Is not character of viruses: host specific, non-host specific, bacteriophages, spherical in shape. AIDS viruses can attack on which type of cells? White blood cells, leukocytes, tissue cells, all may affect it. Question number 82. All are characters of provirus except it is DNA of phage and bacteria, it is DNA of human and virus, It can pass to progeny cells. It converts normal cells into cancer cells. Which one is not symptom of AIDS? Severe pneumonia, rare vascular cancer, sudden weight increase, swollen lymph nodes. Question number 84. Is the causative agent of AIDS HV, HIV, HAV, HEV? The major cell infected by HIV are lymphocytes, T lymphocytes, helper T lymphocytes, B lymphocytes. Number 86 are the major components of immune system: lymphocytes, T lymphocytes, helper T lymphocytes, B lymphocytes. Number 87. Which cells can be affected by HIV other than helper T lymphocytes? B lymphocytes, basophils, cells in CNS, red blood cells. 88. Recent studies on HIV reveals that it infects and multiply in dash but does not cause disease. Human, monkey, cats, pig. 9. Not cause of transmission of HIV: intimate sexual contact, breastfeed, cough, blood transfusion. Number 90. Vaccine against HIV synthesized and experimented, administered in human in France, South Africa, China, USA. Question number 91. Which receptors facilitate to HIV for binding on blood cells? CD1, CD2, CD3, CD4. 92. Hepatitis is an inflammation of heart, lungs, liver, kidney. 93. Usually hepatitis is caused by viral infection, toxic agent, drugs, all of these. 94 is not character of hepatitis: jaundice, abdominal pain, liver enlargement, kidney enlargement. Number 95 was formerly called as infectious hepatitis: hepatitis A, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, hepatitis D. 96 is the second major form of hepatitis: hepatitis A, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, hepatitis D. Number 97. Influenza hepatitis that is less severe called hepatitis A, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, hepatitis D. Number 98. Most recent work of Halber and co-workers reveals that pig is the source of hepatitis A, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, hepatitis A. 99. Hepatitis can be controlled by adapting hygienic conditions, routine vaccination, screening of blood, organ and tissue, all of these. 100. Which of the following information transfer is catalyzed by enzymes reverse transcriptase? RNA to RNA, RNA to DNA, DNA to RNA, DNA to DNA. इनके कौन सा रिवर्स ट्रांसक्रिप्टेज एंजाइम कौन सी इंफॉर्मेशन को किस में ट्रांसफर करता है? यानी कि आरएनए से आरएनए बनाता है, आरएनए से डीएनए बनाता है, या डीएनए से आरएनए बनाता है, या डीएनए से डीएनए बनाता है. 01 is called serum hepatitis, hepatitis A, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, hepatitis D. 102 is not T lymphocyte, helper, killer, memory, monocyte. T lymphocyte की different types हैं, इनमें से कौन सा ऐसा है जो T lymphocyte की type नहीं है? क्वेश्चन नंबर 10, ऑल ऑफ द फॉलोइंग एक्सेप्ट वन आर CD4 सेल्स। इनमें से सारे ही CD4 सेल्स हैं जिनके ऊपर CD4 रिसेप्टर्स हैं, एक में नहीं है, वो कौन से हैं? मोनोसाइट्स, T हेल्पर सेल्स, T साइटोटॉक्सिक सेल्स, मैक्रोफेज। 104, pick answer from the options of question given in figure। फिगर में गौर करें तो वहां पे एक एक लाइन खींची गई है और वहां लिखा है व्हाट इज दिस। गौर करेंगे तो नजर आ जाएगा। उसमें से आपने ऑप्शन में से ढूंढना है। ऑप्शन ए पे है वायरल DNA, ऑप्शन बी पे है प्रोवायरस, ऑप्शन सी पे है रिवर्स ट्रांसक्रिप्टेज एंजाइम, ऑप्शन डी पे है वायरल DNA। 105, आइडेंटिफाई एंड राइट द आंसर्स। अल्फा पे कौन सी चीज है, बीटा पे क्या है, चार्ली पे क्या है और डेल्टा पे क्या है? आपने ये आंसर्स इनमें से ढूंढने हैं। फिगर को देखते हुए देखना है कि क्या है। जैसे पहले अल्फा पे 1 पे लिखा है जिनोम, 2 टेल है, 3 हेड है और 4 टेल फाइबर। बीटा पे 1 हेड, 2 शीथ, 3 कॉलर, 4 टेल फाइबर। चार्ली पे 1 जिनोम, 2 कोर, 3 कॉलर एंड 4 टेल फाइबर। डेल्टा पे 1 जिनोम, 2nd टेल, 3rd हेड बेस, 4th टेल फाइबर। 105 तक ही थे। अब आ गया है नेक्स्ट आंसर की। पहली वायरसेस के मुतालिक आंसर की है, अब आप इससे मैच कर सकते हैं। फिर इसके बाद स्ट्रक्चर ऑफ वायरसेस के मुतालिक इसके 25 MCQs हैं। क्लासिफिकेशन एंड वायरल डिजीज की आंसर की है, इसमें भी 25 क्वेश्चन है। रेट्रोवायरस टू हेपेटाइटिस, इसमें 30 क्वेश्चन है। तो ये टोटल बनते हैं 105। अपना बहुत ख्याल रखें। अल्लाह हाफिज।